have always struck fear in me throughout my lifetime. I've encountered many situations so far that have forced me to change what my plan for my life was. Some have been good, some have been bad, but they've all given me a second chance at the choices that I've made. And I'd like to share with you 3 events in my life that I feel have helped force change in my plan and make me who I am today. When I was 17 years old, I was living in Ann Arbor still with my parents. I was getting ready to graduate high school. I had not enrolled in any colleges yet. I wasn't really on the path of education at that point. My goal was to be a jockey. Like Janice, I had a passion for horses. I had my own horse. I rode all the time, and I could not imagine what would be better in life than to have a career that I loved, riding horses every day. Then, one Saturday morning, life changed on me, beyond my control. I woke up to the smoke alarm going off in our house. I went into our kitchen. Like you, I'm getting choked up. And my house was on fire. So I ended up being injured in that fire, and my father. I ended up going to the hospital. I had to stay there for a month. I had to have surgery. I had to have a year of rehab. So my plans of being a jockey had changed, needless to say. And through a lot of thought and trying to figure out what I was going to do at that point, I realized not only physically it probably wasn't the best choice for me, but I needed a job that had good health insurance. When I saw the bill from my hospital stay, I realized right then and there, there's no way I would ever have a career choice that did not offer health insurance, because if you didn't, you would be paying a bill the rest of your life from some accident like that, and I was not about to subject myself to that. So I ended up deciding, okay, I gotta go to school. What do I enjoy doing? My father was a chemist. I always enjoyed learning about medicinal chemistry. I decided to go to school to become a certified pharmacy technician. I did that. I got a job working at the University of Michigan Medical Center, the same place that I went for my treatment. I ended up working there for 10 years. Throughout that 10 years, I started out as a pharmacy technician, eventually transferred into becoming a physician service representative, did that for a few years, then moved on to becoming an analyst for the software upgrade that they were doing, changing the scheduling system from an outdated system. I started learning about computers, thought this is great, I'm going to do this until I retire. Stay in Ann Arbor, stay at the U of M. And then I met my husband. He lives in Lansing. He's a police officer here in Lansing. He had his career choice set already. He had several years of seniority here. He was not willing to give up that seniority to start again in another community with another department. So, for the second time in my life, I had to make a choice. I chose to leave my job, my career in my hometown, and move to Lansing. I found a job locally working with Oracle. Thought, great, a job right up my alley with the analyst work. Worked there for 2 months. They went through a budget cut the contract I was working on. I got laid off. So, once again, I was on the job hunt, looking for a job. I ended up being hired by Robbins Joya, the company I work with currently. I was hired for the contract here with Michigan Department of Transportation, and I'm now working on my 10-year anniversary this fall with this company. So even though it was an unfortunate event that happened and things had changed the way I had not chosen them to change, I realized that change can be good. Something good came out of it. I had a career again, I had a husband, and I had my family. So probably the biggest event that had the biggest impact on my life would have been having my children. When I was pregnant with my first child, my son, everything was fine. I had all the normal anticipations of a normal pregnancy, but my son just kept growing and growing. They anticipated him to be a 10-pound baby, and he was breech, and they were not going to let me have him naturally. That was not what I had planned. Through a curve, and I ended up having to have my C-section. Then with my daughter's pregnancy, again, things didn't go as I had planned. I had an issue called maternal fetal isoimmunization, which basically meant my blood was attacking my daughter's blood. It was causing severe anemia, and there was a possibility she wouldn't survive. So after an emotional pregnancy and my second C-section, I was finally able to bring her home. After a week of being in the hospital, she came home. 3 weeks later, she got meningitis and was in the hospital for a month. So again, not what I had planned, but we were able to get through all this with a lot of prayer and a lot of good medicine. I now have a healthy 5-year-old that just won't stop talking. So one of my favorite actors, Harrison Ford, said, "We all have big changes in our life that are basically more or less a second chance." I believe that so many events in my life have given me second chances. They may have been out of my control at the time, and they may not have always been what I have planned, but they made me who I am today. All in all, I've been blessed with a wonderful life, and for that I am grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. I'm reading Janice's evaluation. Thank you, Melissa.